What's good, y'all? I've really come to terms with something about myself. Recently I've been doing a lot of self-reflection, a lot of shadow work, really asking myself the hard questions, really digging deep into my own psyche and really pushing myself to the limits to the point I make myself uncomfortable with some things I'm not ready to face head to head just yet. You know, but out of my last shadow work session, one of my strengths was highlighted. And my greatest strength, one of my greatest strengths stems from my overall view on life. I truly do believe that life is supposed to be simple, right? I truly do believe that life is supposed to be easy, you know? And my greatest strength, if I want to put like verbiage towards it, is I'm very good at getting to the bare bones of whatever task is put in front of me. If there's an obstacle in my way, what's the easiest way for me to get rid of it? We say there's humankind takes the path of least resistance. I would have to agree. But we seem to use that in a negative connotation, but I'm using it more so in the positive connotation. For example, for work, we have to grab soil samples all the time. So like when you're dealing with big wigs, one of the things that they always do, they use all these big words to say the simplest things. For example, before you package your samples into the jars, make sure you homogenize the samples. Homogenize? You just mean mix it up very well? Well, yeah, essentially, but yeah, homogenizing means no, mix it. It's the same thing. Just use the simplest terms. The simplest answer is usually the best one. Now, before we continue, let me get one thing very clear. I am not one that steps down from hard work. Hard work is very much necessary in whatever it is that you're doing. But it kind of just goes back into work smarter, not harder, because sometimes you can be working very hard. You can be grinding. But sometimes it conflicts with my mind because I do believe in the hard work and I believe in the easy life. So sometimes I have a conflict in my head. But sometimes I truly do believe if you're working really hard at something, you have to check your results. Are you working very hard at something and you're not getting any results? Well, then that just means you're spinning your wheels and you're not going nowhere like a bald tire in some mud. You're just spinning in one spot. You're working very hard. That engine's working very hard, but you ain't going nowhere. So maybe you're putting all of your effort into the wrong area. Use your own judgment. But anyway, it's like I like to make things extremely simple, right? For example, I have a coworker that's trying to lose some weight, right? And he came in at the beginning of the week. First thing he was talking about was like, man, I could eat so good. I do so good throughout the week, but by weekend time, I just can't control my urges. Like I just got a snack. I just be eating whatever the hell I want. I'm like, well, you ever thought of not eating those things? And here we get to a very valuable point. Man, bro, you just say it like it's that easy just not to eat. Well, let's break it down. You saw the food in the store, for example. You walked up to it, you stopped, you looked at it, you thought about what you wanted to eat, you thought about your goals, and you still picked up the bag of chips, for example. You pick up the bag of chips. Not only did you not just walk directly, no, you walked around with it in your cart, in your basket for a little bit. You walked around, you picked up some things, you picked up some healthy things, you picked up a couple snacks, blah, blah, blah. So not at one moment did you say, hey, I don't need these chips. I don't need these cookies. I don't need these snacks. You just kept on. So you made it just as easy to condone your bad habit. When it comes to you switching over to a good one, you make it more complicated. Why are you making your success more difficult than the things that's holding you back? You're making your obstacles stronger than your successes. So it's very simple. Stop eating the bad stuff that's making you gain weight. And when I worded it more eloquently with him, but nevertheless, when I was done talking, he was just like, you got a point though. Yes, I do. Because life is supposed to be simple. If you make things simple, you know what I'm saying? For example, right? Nike. I've referred to them a couple of times. I don't like name brands, child slavery and all that type of stuff, but hey, a broken clock is right twice a day. How do I accomplish my goals? What's the first step I need into the first step? Just do it. Just do it. It's not that easy, bro. It's not that easy. Speaking of bro, because that's our terminology in the senior retention community. How do I last longer than a week on this streak? Just do it. Don't watch the things that trigger you. completely change your life. It's not that easy, bro. Why are you still subconsciously supporting a negative habit? Change your life. You want to win, right? So do what you got to do to win. It's that simple. Do what you got to do to win. I want to see people win, but it just seems like when it comes to replacing a bad habit with a good one, people always make the bad habit so powerful in their minds. But they make the successes this big. Obstacles, woof. Successes, and that just shows that you have a negative mindset. How many times did it take you to not touch the stove? How many times did it take you? Some of y'all still ain't learning this lesson because you can't stop force feeding yourselves. But how many of y'all put something hot in your mouth and you gotta do the whole word, like you put a hot pocket, a pizza roll in your mouth or something like that, and you gotta do the whole little, like, the heavy breathing dance until the food cools off in your mouth instead of just waiting a few minutes until the food cooled off until you can actually eat it without sounding like a freaking like a exacerbated caveman or something like that. You know what I'm saying? But anyway, you know what I'm saying? How many times did it take you to not touch the stove? It took you one good time. That was pretty simple, wasn't it? So why is it when it comes to something like your health, like your dreams, goals, and aspirations, all of a sudden it takes you 8,000 ass beatings before you learn your lesson? I'm just asking questions for a friend. You want to learn how to manifest, but yet you're surrounding yourself with negative people and negative thoughts. You want to get on a semen retention streak, and you keep on putting yourself in the same situations. You're not rewriting your muscle memory. You keep sitting at the same computer that you go to the spank bank on. You know what I'm saying? You still access the same sites. You're not replacing old bad habits with good ones. Because there's a piece of you that has become complacent. There's a piece of you, and I'm gonna touch on this in a separate video, but while my brain is here, your egos are what's making your success so difficult. Your ego has gotten comfortable with the negativity. Your ego has gotten comfortable with the laziness. Your ego has gotten comfortable putting yourself down. And the ego protects itself. It don't protect you, it protects itself. The ego doesn't like new things. So a lot of y'all are still falling victim to your ego. You've been sitting on your ass, like rubbing, getting the belly button lint out of your stomach. You know what I'm saying? Your ego got comfortable sitting on the couch for 12 hours a day watching TV. You know what I'm saying? Your ego got comfortable of eating that comfort food. Eating those chips, eating those cookies, eating all those sweets to replace the love that you're lacking in your own life. Your ego is going to keep you there until you have a face-to-face conversation with your ego and say, I'm no longer going to let you stop me. I'm no longer going to let you throw obstacles in front of my success. It's that easy. Have a conversation with yourself. It's that easy. Have a conversation with yourself. Find a quote, a mantra that you love so much. For example, I got one from Kobe Bryant that I live by. I'm no longer negotiating with myself. I don't negotiate with myself. Okay, if I do 10 push-ups right now, then I can eat. No, you're doing 10 push-ups because you want to win. You don't get a reward for half-ass. You don't get a reward for step one. Nah, you get your reward at the end. Do what you gotta do now. You know what I'm saying? It's that easy. Lose weight. How do you lose weight? Eat better, eat less, exercise. Then if you want to get dangerous with it, add your spirituality with it. Change your mindset. Work on your mind, body, and spirit simultaneously. But you're trying to lose weight, but yet you keep buying snacks. You're trying to stop. You're trying to curb your food addiction, and yet you keep buying one snack. You keep buying. Okay, well, I'm gonna eat all healthy here, but I'm gonna buy a bag of Skittles every time I go to the grocery store. So you're going to keep giving yourself the drug that's making your food addiction stronger, aka processed sugar. Just asking questions for a friend. You're going to keep on doing that. See, when we live in this world that we are such complex. We as human are complicated, complex individuals. We are the supreme beings on this planet that are supposed to have dominion over nature. So we are so smart and so superior. Why is it that we are the ones destroying nature, number one, and we are the ones that are making our own lives complicated. Y'all ever tried to read tax rules? You ever tried to read legal jargon? All that complicated language that they know no one is going to read, so it can only benefit a few people. The crazy thing is, like the US dollar, yes, everything in our world that is successful right now is simple. So why aren't you? My room is dark right now. When I came out here, the sun was still up. I've been out here so long, the sun's starting to go down, right? Don't let the white backdrop fool you. It's actually getting kind of dark. But nevertheless, it's like everything that is around us that is maintained, that grows, that has growth, that grows, and that we utilize, that everyone utilizes, is something that made something simpler. In regards to bartering, we have the US dollar. Okay, well, how much is 2 pigs, but I want a boat? Well, what's our standard here? So the US dollar actually made things a lot simpler. Don't get me wrong, we can get deep with that, but keeping things on the surface level. You know, my room was dark. That's where my mind went. The room is dark right now, but I can go flip a switch and now I can see inside. Very freaking simple. Let's use the light switch example, right? This is some of y'all. This is some of y'all. We at the same hotel room. That light's dark. I'm gonna walk into a light switch, flip it, and now I can see. But some of y'all are gonna sit out here and try to make flames from a freaking notebook paper. Oh dang, this is too complicated. Okay, I'm gonna use some friction. I'm gonna get this. Okay. How about this? I'm gonna use my phone flashlight to light my way, and then but I need to find the remote so I can turn the TV on so I have light in the room. You see what I'm saying? All that seemed unnecessary to some of y'all, right? That seemed unnecessary. Why don't you just flip the light switch, bro? Exactly. So every obstacle that you have in your life, just flip the light switch. Do a simple action to achieve your goal, or stop a simple action to achieve your goal. Either flip the light switch or don't touch the freaking stove. You touch the stove once, you got burnt. Now you know not to do it again. So just change the stove with whatever your bad habit is. Don't watch pornography. Don't buy into gossip. Don't be lazy. Don't buy the food in the first place. Don't buy the cigarettes in the first place. Don't hang around the weed smokers if you're trying to stop smoking weed. Do something more important on your phone instead of going to the hub. I mean, to the next one.